what is money? That is what we're going to be going over today. And this seems like a very obvious question, but recently I was reading this book over here to my left, your right, The Wealth of Nations. And basically what this book goes over is, how do nations become wealthy? Why is the US so wealthy? Why are certain other third world countries so poor? And through that model of how nations become wealthy, you can very easily ascertain how you as an individual can become wealthy. And by the end of this video, what I hope to communicate is that money is really something much more spiritual, much more psychological, and you can have an abundance of it if you take on the right mindset, if you take on the right thinking about what money is. So if you ask the average Joe what money is, they will tell you dollars, pounds, francs, yen, whatever. They'll tell you some type of paper currency. And if you ask somebody else, they might say something like gold. You know, if you go back, we used to trade in gold, silver, precious metals, things of that nature. When things start to get really interesting is when you start to turn back the hands of time. When you turn back the hands of time before the dollar, you eventually bump into gold and silver. Precious metals were used, but why were those things used? That's the question. Why were they used? Because we used to have a barter system. So if you took, let's say I was a farmer and I took my corn to market and I wanted to get, I wanted to get some beef. How many corn do I have to give somebody to get beef? What's the exchange rate between corn and beef? Okay, we could probably figure that out. Well, what if I only have corn and I want to get, plumbing done? Or what if I only have corn and I want to get legal services? Or what if I only have corn and I want to get some other service, or I want to get a house? What's the conversion rate between corn and all of these things? Things start to get very confusing when you have to just barter with all of these things. How much corn do I need to send my kid to school? How do we do this? Eventually we need to have a go-between, and that is where you enter money. So the barter system was kind of done away with because there's no real way to keep score. We needed a way to keep score, and that's what money did. So when we took out the barter system, you could take your corn to the market, you could get money, you could take your money to somebody who was selling a house, you could get that house. But there's something under that, and that is that all of the economy, all of the goods and service within the economy, you could think of it as a pie. And basically what you're doing when you have a monetary system is you're cutting up the slices of that pie. And how much money you have depends on how big your slice is of that pie. Now, underneath all of the barter and all of the money is, where did money get its original value from? You go back before money, you go back before barter, and it was basically money was a quid pro quo, or in other words, what money was before there was anything of exchange, any markets. It was just, you do this for me, I'll do that for you. You scratch my back, I'll scratch your back. And that is our underlying nature. You help me, I'll help you. So in other words, the original money was not corn, it was not gold, it was not silver, it was not the paper dollar, it was not the pound, it was not the franc, it was labor. So underneath all of the stuff that we see today as money, there is labor. So how much is your labor worth per time? In other words, money is basically an expression of your time. The amount of money that you have entitles you to a certain amount of other people's time. If I had $1 million right now, or a certain piece of the pie of the economy, I could employ certain people to do certain things and control their time. So basically, when you're working for your money, you are giving your time. If you have money, you have other people's time. Now, where am I going with all this? Where I'm going with this is that you come up with some good conclusions when you think of money as time, or your time to get it, other people's time when you have it. Thing number one that you get from thinking of money as time is that you should become an investor. You should create passive income streams, because as you have more money coming in, you have more people's time coming in, you are freeing up your own time. If my time becomes worth more, I basically have more time. If I have enough passive income to hire a gardener, I don't have to do my garden. The second thing that you get from thinking of your money as time is that you should be increasing the amount of money that your time is worth. At all times, you should be increasing the amount of money that your time is worth, because that means that you are getting more time. As you do things like read these books behind me, which I promise you guys, I'm going to make the video that recommends these books. I'll probably put a link in the description for this Wealth of Nations book. It's been a great book so far. I'm not done with it. It's by the father of economics, Adam Smith. But as you do things to increase your skills, you also increase your time. As you increase your net worth, you also increase your access to other people's time. And on the other side, to the negative, as you decrease your net worth, as you overspend, you increase other people's access to your time. As you take out debt, you give other people your time. And the last thing that I want to note before we have to end another one of these videos, and I'll miss you guys until next time, is that we should look at the economy, or money in the economy, as a bank of time. If I hypothetically were to control all the money of society, I would control all the time of society. Obviously, it doesn't work that way because it's a system of exchange, and if only one person has it, then there is no system of exchange. It'd be some kind of monarchy or something. And the last point that I want to make before we unfortunately have to end another one of these videos, thank you all for getting me to 2,000 subscribers. This has been a crazy, wild ride that I couldn't even see this coming. Like, it's been amazing. But anyways, last point I want to make is that when you look at this economy as a system that is a pie, the big money pie, the big time pie, hypothetically, if you were to control all of the money, you would control all of the time. Now, you can print new money or cut up smaller slices into the pie, but you cannot create more pie. It's still the same pie. People who have real access to the pie are the people who have access to real assets, real businesses, real land, real estate. So what we need to be doing in this time, if we can, is keeping an income, trying to buy assets, obviously try to stay safe out there, but the people in the end that are going to have the real wealth of this pie, not this fake money, is the people who control the land, the assets, the businesses, and the time. So hopefully you guys are out there protecting your income, trying to open up new streams of income, investing if you can, staying safe if you cannot, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Hit the links down below if you want to. If you want to support the channel, you don't have to, obviously. And one last note, I never am going to endorse something that I don't actually like, just because I don't have to. I mean, it's free money, and I endorse free money. So maybe I'll do a review on my apps on these books. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one.
Got it bumping. Hey.